You are listening to the Mark Guzman Podcast Experience. In this episode, Kim Staggs and Michelle Keeton from the Bar Athletics comes in to discuss CrossFit, Mission 22, bodybuilding, and we drink 1 Killer Cab wine. Heck, it even has a skeleton on the front.
More, please.
Oops.
You know, I was literally about to tell you we're live and you hit that. I'm going to keep that in the podcast.
Do it.
You're such an ass.
Oh, and cussing is allowed, just to give
Fuck
you a
yeah.
heads up.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Test it out. Fuck.
Fuck 1, fuck 2. Testing.
Okay, this is going to be a great podcast.
Awesome.
Okay, well, I want to thank the Bar Athletics for coming in. We have Kim Staggs, Michelle Keeton, the owners of the Bar Athletics out of Hercules, and thank you for coming out for the podcast here.
You're welcome.
Thanks for having us, Mark.
Yeah, of course. Today's wine that we're going to be drinking is 2014 Napa Valley Cab Palermo, bottled by Orange Swift Cellars out of Napa, California. This bottle, I think I bought it for about $30 or $40, but the main reason is because for those that don't know, Kim is my girlfriend, and we're pretty big wine fans. And the one thing that frustrates me very often is that you always buy wine off of labels.
And it's amazing.
You fall for it, and they come out amazing every single time. And when I do it, they always suck.
They do.
Now, I bought this based on the label because I'll show it here for the people on YouTube, but it's basically a skeleton dressed in, it's got a red cape.
Looks like a pirate kind of deal.
Yeah.
I was thinking Little Red Riding Hood.
Oh, nice. Even better.
Gone bad. Super bad.
Perfect. Okay, so
That's good. It's good stuff.
I know the two of you have already tried the wine, right?
Yes.
Yes.
What do you think of it?
It's really good.
So what do I like to say? Give it a little sippy sip,
Yes.
a little snippy sniff.
A little sniffy sniff. A little swirly swirl.
Okay, so let's just get into it. So I want to talk a little bit about your business, your backgrounds, and things that you do for the community. And let's just start off with how you got into the fitness world and what you did before you actually got into any kind of fitness. Start with Kim.
Okay. I was actually a realtor for about 18 years.
Actually, the same company that I'm at right now.
Yes, here right now. I know people walking through the office. It's kind of cool to come back and visit. But so I did this for a very long time. Didn't really do anything fitness related since I was a kid I played basketball and some random sports, but that went by the wayside. Probably late 30s, decided I should probably, start maybe getting my act together physically. Dropped in, talked to you actually for referral. Dropped into a fitness studio in Hercules and fell in love with it.
You got addicted to it.
Oh, I was doing
You even got into
7
doing
days a
bodybuilding
week.
shows.
Yeah, 2-a-days. Started doing bodybuilding shows, and it just went from there. And I realized that was my passion, was to help people get healthy and feel good about themselves.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Michelle?
Prior to getting into fitness, I was in law enforcement for about 25 years. I was post-Marine Corps. And I was Los Angeles Police Department, a small agency over in Marin County, and then I ended with San Francisco County Sheriff's Department. And I actually started training at the same studio that Kim did. Really fell in love with it. Same thing. Liked being there all the time. Was really bored with being an inside law enforcement person. So started going to school for it, doing the NASM. Took me forever, but got it and actually started training at the same studio. And kind of fell into doing the seniors program and really fell in love with it. Like, it's a really great group of people.
And you have a certificate for seniors, right?
I do. I have specialties in seniors, youth, women's.
You have a lot. She has a lot of certifications. Like, if there's something out there, she's certified in it.
Yeah. And prior to that, I'd done CrossFit a long time ago and powerlifting and stuff like that.
Okay. And then I know recently you opened up the Bar Athletics.
8 months.
Yeah, 8 months. And you actually bought the gym before and converted it to the bar athletics. And I know there's a lot of things happening at that gym. So, in fact, let me touch base on something that I think is really cool that the two of you participate with, which is Mission 22. In fact, your logo has a 22 on a food dog. And so, why don't you explain what Mission 22 is and how you guys participate, help, and how maybe even listeners could help out and volunteer?
Absolutely. Anyone wanting to volunteer or find out more information about Mission 22 can go to mission22.com. They can actually join what's called an ambassadors forum, become an ambassador for their state, city, or region. I'm the Region 9 leader. I have state leaders now as of yesterday, and we cover California, Nevada, and Arizona. And Mission 22 was founded by Elder Hart. Elder Hart's a foundation that was started by Navy SEALs, different people like that, and it's a suicide prevention for veterans because they come home and you think the VA's got them covered, and the VA's so understaffed and so underfunded that the treatment and the care they get is subpar.
It's been in the news lately too.
Subpar, yeah.
It has. I actually just recently, this last Saturday, went to a dedication for a family whose son committed suicide after getting home from Iraq and having some major issues with some things he was involved in over there. And they are still, post death, having issues getting everything taken care of for him. So it's a really sad situation. But Kim is actually one of my ambassadors for Northern California. And like you said, we put it in our logo. We want it to kind of represent, no pun intended, but like maybe a bat signal so people know, hey, they're a gym that's involved with Mission 22. It's a safe place. I can come here, if nothing else, to find out where I can go for help.
That's good.
I have a lot of military in my family, and hearing some of the stories that some of these men and women post on the ambassador page is that could have been anyone in my family or anyone that I know, and it's heartbreaking to me that our country isn't able to take care of the men and women who serve and protect us in the manner that we should. Along with the suicide rate, the homelessness rate is atrocious. It's just something that I feel is important to be involved in as a human and as American. So I'm proud to have that as our main charitable group that we spend our time and raise money for.
And you do charity workouts too, correct?
We do. And we raise money here and there, but we plan to have one huge fundraising event per year located at our gym. People from across the country from Mission 22 will come in. It's jiu-jitsu based, which we also, Michelle and I are involved in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So the community there is huge, and they come in and just have an outpouring of support. One of my clients was able to get in touch with some really amazing members there, and it's helped his life, and that was just a small portion of that, what happened that day. So we hope to be able to do that at our gym annually.
One of our goals when we opened up was to give back as much as we were already getting, and we've only been open a short amount of time. Kim does the clothing drive every winter with Lana from Lana's Egg Whites. And there's all kinds of stuff. Anything we can
That's
get our hands
amazing
into.
because I've seen bags and bags of coats, like unbelievable number of bags of coats.
Yes.
So
Pretty sure Kim's van's been filled a few times.
Oh yeah, I have to help deliver those.
Yeah, our community is beyond measure. All we have to do is say the word, and they're involved in whatever we're pushing or promoting that week. So
That's great. If people want to help out with Mission 22, is there a website they can go to? Should they just contact you directly?
they can do either. They can contact me as the Region 9 leader at 510-224-0331, or they can go directly to mission22.com. And you can actually set up, even if it's $1 a month, you can set up an auto debit every month as a charitable contribution. And unlike other organizations out there, they are 100% not for profit. So every dime, and we know this firsthand, that you donate to Mission 22 goes directly to be used as resources for veterans, traumatic brain injury specialists, all that kind of stuff.
Going back to the bar, how did you guys come up with the name?
That may have been over cocktails. I'm
It,
not sure.
we were actually over at your guys' house,
Yes.
sitting on the couch, and it started. I was just thinking about a barbell, and I said that jokingly, and Kim threw in the athletics, and we were off and running. And yes, it was a cocktail related.
Yes. There's a running joke amongst us that we will open the other bar next door that will have smoothies and healthy stuff by day and
cocktails at
cocktails
night.
by night.
It's gonna happen. I'm confident.
One day, right?
We put it out there in the universe. It's going to happen.
For some of the people listening, they will want to know, with all these different interviews I'm doing, is what's the best part of your job? Like, what do you look forward to every single day?
Waking up and going.
Just going.
Yeah, being there. I know Kim feels as close to her client. We're pretty close. Most of our people have been with us since day one. So you have a more than a client relationship with them. And so you go and you could be having the worst morning and you show up and there's just the gym's filled with such good energy. You're like, okay, I'm all right.
Okay.
We did this.
So let's switch that up a little bit then. When people go to your gym, first time ever, what should they expect? Now, I know you have different programs
Right.
at the gym, which we'll cover in a minute. Or you know what? We can cover programs right now so people have an idea of what you offer. I know you guys have group training, CrossFit. Recently, you added Krav Maga. You also have a kids program that's very interesting.
We do. We have a boot camp program for the summer for kids. It's off to a slow start, but it's picking up speed, sadly, towards the end of summer. But I also realize this is our first time doing it. So I'm hoping next year and the year after we'll have some more
Now, is there a
attendance.
minimum, maximum age for the kids program?
Right now it's 6 to 9 for group 1 and 10 through 14 for group 2. We haven't needed to have two separate time frames, so we've combined the classes together, and the kids have a blast. I feel like it's teaching them that fitness doesn't always have to be a drag like in PE. They don't have to run laps or do sit-ups. That fitness can be fun, and in a group environment they can meet friends and of like-minded friends, and the parents get a kick out of watching their kids. They throw dumbbells around and swinging kettlebells. Yeah.
That's great.
It's fun.
Yeah, I remember like in school, PE was so boring. It was just lame. Like
Yeah.
no one wanted to do it. Still to this day, no one wants to do it. But I think a lot of it comes down to the fun factor. They don't make it fun enough. It's just another class, and you have a lot of schools that are cutting those programs out.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's nice to see a gym that's really focusing on a kids program that can supplement that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Krav Maga.
Awesome.
I have to
Nobody
admit,
knows what it is.
the very first time I heard Krav Maga, I had no clue what it was.
Right.
Yeah.
It sounds like
And
a
I'm
food.
sure a lot of people listening do not have an idea of what that is. So, do you want to expand on it?
It's an Israeli fighting style, and it's basically you think jiu-jitsu, you're on the ground. Krav Maga is a lot of hand strikes, open palm strikes, and it's very, I would actually venture out to say 100% self-defense based.
Yeah.
So if you have ever felt like you couldn't protect yourself and you wanted to learn how to, it's perfect. And our instructor, Deanna Perez, is amazing. She's a very good teacher, very patient. Just
Very strong. She's hit me a couple times.
Yeah.
She is, yes. You see her and she is small but mighty.
It's also a very raw style. There's not a lot of rules. It's anything goes. I mean, this sounds kind of horrible, but if you're about to die and you can reach somebody's eyeballs, it's all about doing it. The basic premise is to get out alive. So it's real life situations, women getting mugged. She just did an entire day seminar on how to react to carjackings and how to get out safely from carjackings. So it's very real life. It's not a lot of rules and you stand there and 1, 2, 3, go. It's a good compliment, I feel, to jiu-jitsu, but I will always feel that everything is a good compliment to jiu-jitsu. But yes, and Deanna is amazing. My 15-year-old daughter doesn't like to do anything, and she loves her program, which is a lot from that.
So she's not doing the kids program, and
No,
instead she's
she's
doing
up
Krav
with the
Maga.
adults. Yeah, Skylar doesn't want to do CrossFit, but she's all about Deanna in the Krav Maga program.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. And then you also offer personal group training, nutrition. You have your normal CrossFit classes that
Hmm.
are pretty popular. Also, anything else I'm missing, or any other programs?
We actually just started. We're members of a group called Mad Lab. It's kind of like basically a gym co-op,
Okay,
and they're teaching us the fine art of having a facility this large and how to do those kinds of things. We started a fundamentals program. We're calling it the beta program right now. And it's really geared towards people who have never worked out or never done CrossFit or anything like that. And it takes you through 6 weeks, 18 one-on-one sessions to teach you the fundamental movements of CrossFit. And it's really geared towards kind of taking the stigma out of CrossFit of, everybody gets hurt in CrossFit. Oh, don't do CrossFit. It's scary. It's really not. And so I think Kim's had pretty good experience with it so far.
It's
And I
been
know,
really good.
yeah.
It's been good for me as a coach, and my clients seem to really appreciate the learning pace.
nice.
Yeah.
I know that's one thing that's very lacking in so many gyms is form, like how to properly do form. I mean, you can
Yes.
go into any big gym out there and just sit down and watch people working out, and like if you know anything about like just the slightest knowledge of muscles and skeletons, like you just see half the people they're gonna hurt themselves
Yeah.
eventually. um, and sometimes you actually do see people hurt themselves. Form is definitely big deal.
I
Big deal.
wish I had had the opportunity to do a program like this. I absolutely wish it was there and available for me.
Agreed.
I would have paid the money in a heartbeat. That's all I have to say about that.
Jenny.
Okay, so being that we have two fitness coaches here, two gym owners, I think a lot of people would like to know one or two tips on best way to lose weight, or what everyone wants to do is tone up.
Right? I don't want to get bulky. I just want to get toned.
Oh, and there's speaking of which, there's a lot of women that don't want to lift weights because they're afraid they're going to become massive bodybuilders overnight.
Right. Right. I've been trying to become massive bodybuilder over a period of years. Trust me, it does not happen overnight, and you're not going to do it slinging around 20-pound dumbbells. So don't be afraid.
Yeah, what I tell people too is sometimes they don't realize that their backpack that they carry or briefcase or whatever is 20, 30 pounds sometimes.
Right.
And if you can carry that around, lift it without any problems, then you probably should be lifting more in the gym.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also, for women, especially women in my age and older, it's so important to do resistance training for your bone density and your overall longevity. Um, I can't I can't push it enough on my female clients. Not for the physical appearance look so much, but just what happens to your insides and to your brain when you start resistance training.
I couldn't. Kim is like spot on with that. And like for my clients, because most of my clients are 50 and older, I've done a lot of research on osteoporosis, and there's actually scientific evidence based that weightlifting can reverse the effects of osteoporosis. It's a slower process, of course, when you get older, but you can regrow that bone and create increased bone density. So
I read a few articles, and this was maybe about a year ago, about weight resistance training and the effects of certain hormones, enzymes that are released that actually counteract aging. Now, it's not like it's going to turn you from 50 to 25, but it counteracts a lot of the aging process in a lot of the cells and slows down that process. And that's why you see some people that are in their 80s and 90s that look phenomenal. They run around, they're super active, and they have no problems. And it's because they have a regular workout maintenance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then you
That
see-
and eating clean food. Not clean like a bodybuilder's diet. You don't have to eat 8 pounds of chicken and 12 gallons of egg whites, but just to stay away from hormone injected food, all of the pesticides and stuff that they do to our food. Try to go as organic as possible and stay away from processed. Anything that comes in a box, I would say not buy it.
Okay. And calories. Is a calorie a calorie?
No.
Why?
I'm going to say no.
I agree with
Okay,
that.
it's not a trick question.
Do you have a book back there? No.
Right. So no, you can have a 2,000 calorie diet, have 5 people on the same calorie limit, and have 5 absolute different reactions. It depends on your macronutrients, which is fats, proteins, carbohydrates. You need that balanced out with your lifestyle, what your typical day of working out looks like, and adjust it up and down from there. You can't just say, oh, keep your stuff to 2,200 calories and you're going to be amazing.
Yeah. And I would assume it also depends on the individual's own activity levels
Absolutely.
and hormones and that. I mean, a lot of people don't understand how much hormones really play into it.
Right. And you can have two people the same height, the same weight, do the same workout, same output levels, and one can burn 400 calories and the other one will burn 700 calories.
Yep.
So it just depends on what your body's doing with everything.
So it would probably be a good idea to get some kind of fitness tracker then.
Correct.
Yeah,
For
I have
workouts.
my clients do tracking their fitness workouts, their cardio, and track their food. And we make adjustments sometimes weekly, most of the time monthly. And they can be small tweaks here and there, but no meal plan is the same for every client. It's just impossible.
Okay, so why don't you try the wine again here?
Let's do that.
And it smells better. I'm gonna give myself another pour. So there's been a few times where Kim and I have gone up to Napa, and
That is good.
I have to admit it is funny to see the people that are super snobby up there about wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it sucks because it intimidates a lot of people that could possibly enjoy wine, but they avoid it because they think it's a super rich thing or they don't want to deal with the snobby people. How's the wine?
It's very good. It's different now.
That is really good.
Yeah. Our producer Sam here came up with a little game to play called Community Choice, and it's going to be very easy. So one of the main purpose of the podcast is really just to give exposure to local people here in the Bay Area that do good things for the community, have own businesses, that are an artist, musician, scientist, or something like that. And I would like to get your pick on who's the best for certain things. Okay, what is your go-to bar?
Ooh, I got that one. The Mallard.
Mallard. I love the Mallard.
My favorite. It is not pretentious, slightly divey. I love dive bars, but also service is great. The drinks are phenomenal. There's a pool tables and fireplace downstairs, more pool tables, another bar upstairs, patio. It's awesome.
And it's very close to Solano Avenue, which has a lot of restaurants.
Yes.
Yeah.
And is a short Uber fare.
Yes. You can tell we do that quite a bit.
What bars have I been to with you?
Usually the bar up on the hill, Mikasa bar.
Oh.
The only bar
We'll
we've
go
been
with
to.
the Mallard then.
Michelle likes the bar in my house.
Okay, what's your go-to ice cream shop?
Mr. Dewey's Cashew Creamery in Albany
On Solano Avenue.
on Solano Avenue.
Okay.
Ice cream,
Yes.
then hit over to Mallard's.
Well, maybe you do dinner first and then ice cream for dessert.
Maybe
and
you
then
save the
Mallard's.
ice cream for the next day, especially if you're going over to Kim's house. Don't eat it while you're drinking.
Okay, best Mexican food. Now remember, this could be entire Bay Area. It doesn't have to be just the East Bay.
Okay.
My go-to is Los Cerros and El Sobrante by Nate Shop.
Okay, their food's really good.
Yeah, but
Speaking of which, Nate has to be the best tattoo artist ever.
The best.
The best.
yes.
True ambition artwork. So if you want a tattoo, go to Nate.
And then grab a burrito at Los Cerros.
There you go. Tattoo and burritos. Okay, what's your go-to burger joint?
Not a fan of burgers, so that's not for me.
I don't have them very often, but my go-to would probably be the Kinder Single. It's made right there. Put it together the whole bit. They're not frozen or anything.
Nice.
What about you, Mark?
Yeah.
My best burger joint. You know what? I love Barney's.
Ooh.
Yeah. And they have a Barney's in Albany and one in Berkeley.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
like we're leaning towards Albany here.
Right?
There's a
We
lot of
spend
good
a lot
restaurants.
of time in Albany, Berkeley, Oakland area.
And in
eating.
fact, if you go to the Berkeley location, once you eat your burger, go right next door to Phil's Coffee.
Yes.
Love Phil's.
Yeah.
Phil's is great.
We need a Phil's over here.
They're opening one in Walnut Creek.
It's not close enough.
Yeah,
It's
but it's
not.
not Richmond. They need to open one up in Richmond.
We're still in the
Hear
triangle.
that? Phil's coffee. Edit that out.
Oh, we'll leave
Or
that
leave
in.
it,
I
yeah.
want to make sure Phil's Coffee hears that.
Phil's gonna be like, oh snap, gotta open in Richmond.
You could also open one in Hercules, just saying.
Okay, where is, in your opinion, the best view of the Bay Area?
Oh my gosh.
I know there's a ton of views out there. I mean, we have a great view from our house, and
Where did we go? The lady who's super philanthropic. She owns the restaurant on the water. It was super windy.
Salutes.
Salutes
Wendy's.
has an amazing view. Although that's right on the water.
Yeah.
you know what? She does a lot of good things for people
Yes.
too.
She's
She's
amazing.
incredible.
She
Yeah.
is an incredible woman.
Yeah, in fact, you know her story, so why don't you just briefly mention her real quick?
Okay, so Membe owns Salute, Italian restaurant in Richmond on the water. She is an immigrant from Ethiopia, I believe. Came out of a horrible domestic situation, immigrated over here, was taken in by her, where she owns now. She worked as
She started as a
waitress, server,
hostess or something, right?
hostess, yeah, and worked her way up. I eventually purchased the restaurant, and she donates, I don't know how many hours of time to the Richmond community. Mother's Day, she holds a 4-course brunch for low-income mothers in the area. She holds clothing drives, business clothing drives, and etiquette lessons for young ladies who, for whatever reason, aren't able to get jobs or maybe have to quit high school to take care of families and need to get a career. She does Thanksgiving dinners for the homeless in Richmond. She spends a lot of time
And that's
giving back
amazing
to her
too, because she'll have a
community.
lot of people show up, and
She does.
they don't pay a dime.
They don't pay a dime, and it's all day. Thanksgiving is all day, and they just keep cooking until the last person is fed. She's incredible, and she always knows who you are. Every time we go to the restaurant, doesn't matter if we haven't been there for a year or two. She's, hey, how you doing? Nice to see you, Mark. She always remembers you and always says hello to me.
Yeah, every time we're there, she's literally going around to every
Yes.
single person that she recognizes. Even you could be a second timer there at the restaurant. She recognizes you. She's
Yeah.
gonna come up, say hi, how are you, ask about you, your family.
Yeah. She's the kind of person that I want to be,
Yeah.
for sure.
So best views. So we have Salute.
So I don't know it's called The Wall. If you ever were into riding motorcycles, it's up by, like, if you're going to Lawrence Hall of Science on the top,
Okay.
from the top. So I don't even know where the Grizzly Peak area maybe.
When was the last time you rode a motorcycle?
It's been a long time.
A few years.
A few years. Since before my daughter was born. But that was one of my favorite rides because you ride all the way up to the top, sort of Montclair-ish maybe, where Berkeley and Montclair hit, all the way at the top, and you can see the entire bay, and it's gorgeous. That's my favorite. It's been a minute.
Do you have any amazing views?
I don't. I'm not a Bay Area native, so I'm not super familiar with like the backwoods and
Where are you
stuff.
from?
Oh, yeah.
Southern California.
Okay.
She's
I
a
know-
surfer, dude.
Did you surf before?
Mm-hmm.
you
Surfed almost
like-
my whole life till I moved up here in 2003.
Okay, so you must be really good at surfing then.
I'm okay. I
You
haven't
still
been out.
surf?
I haven't been out since I moved up here. The water's too cold. I went out in my short suit when I first got here. First of all, the water is very murky.
Yeah.
I didn't like not seeing anything except for whatever's right in front of you. It was colder, so then I got a long suit, and I was just like, "This is just not for me." So it's been a
Plus
hot
it
minute.
Stinks. The bay water smells so bad.
I'm sure I could still do it. It just wouldn't look like it used to.
So What were some of the good places that you enjoyed surfing down in Salute?
My favorite was a really little beach, Highway 1 or 101 in LA. It's been a long time. I used to live out in Thousand Oaks, so I'd get off. I used to work at LAPD Rampart. I'd get off work and I'd go up that highway, and there's a little tiny beach. Gosh, I mean, literally little tiny, like an alcove almost, called Leo Cabrillo. And you go out, and all the surfers would already be there. I'd stay there for like 2 hours, and it drops off really fast. So you can surf really close to the shore and just go out and paddle out, swim and surf for like 2 hours, and then go home and crash for the rest of the day.
That's
Loved it.
pretty sweet.
And of course, that highway, taco stands as far as the eye can see. So
Nice.
tacos on the way.
That's the best Mexican.
Yeah.
SoCal taco stands.
And they have some good taco trucks up here now. What's that?
Oh,
What's the one that travels around? It's like they're 4 or 5 taco trucks. They travel around. I saw them in San Rafael. They go to Fort Mason, San Francisco some days.
Oh, all the big off the grids.
Yeah, off the grid. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't tried any of the taco trucks.
There's the one truck too, and I actually have their card. I wish I had the name. It's all black, but they make the banh mi. Die
Oh,
for.
so I know in Rodeo.
Yes.
Rodeo.
Yeah, so in
So
Rodeo,
good.
and I think the winery is called Four Fools
Four
Winery,
Fools, yep.
which I didn't know up until maybe what was it, 2 months ago. I didn't know there was a winery in Rodeo,
Right?
and so we went to go try the winery, and they had 4 food trucks there, and we tried that one and
Yes.
the banh mi. I think I had a banh mi burger, which was pretty good.
I had a banh mi as well.
Yeah,
That was the first time I'd ever had it when I went there.
that place has good views.
Yes.
Yes.
It
Four
has
Fools does.
beautiful views.
Yeah, because they converted a house into this very small tasting winery, and they have a lot of parking, food trucks, and then you can sit on tables, and it overlooks the bay.
Yep.
They're actually really fun. They're pretty honest because they're like, hey, we're new. Some of our stuff is pretty good. Some of it is not so good. So they'll tell you, hey, we just made this batch. Try this. It's okay. Let us know what you think. So, but they're
Yeah.
really.
And the prices are reasonable. I
Yeah,
think
the
it was
prices were really
$20 for a bottle, and then you can just enjoy it there,
Right.
overlooking the bay.
They do fresh batches of sangria for the people who first get there.
And that's the first and third Thursday of every month.
Yep.
Yeah.
Soon to be over. I think they shut it down when school starts.
Sylvia, Hercules Chamber of Commerce.
But it's fun. I didn't know they made sangria. I'd be down
Mhm.
for that.
Yeah, I think we just tried one wine of theirs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll have to go back, try the sangria. And then I know you wanted to go try one of the food trucks that you
The
were
Pokemon.
the Pokemon, yeah.
It's a Poke truck.
They weren't
Yeah,
there
and-
that night.
Yeah, they
No.
weren't there. Yeah.
I keep
but-
missing him everywhere I go. He was supposed to be at Cali Roots, and I didn't see him there either.
Cali Roots was so much fun.
You didn't
Yeah.
see him because you didn't see him, or it wasn't actually there.
I don't think he was actually there.
This gets better the longer it's
It
on.
does.
It really does. It's really good.
That's just good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the best things about wine. It really is. Just gets better. We miss you at Cali Roots.
I know.
It was fun. So for those that don't know, Cali Roots is held on Memorial Day weekend every single year. It's 3 days of just pure reggae music.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of fun.
Mostly island reggae.
Yes, island reggae. I should specify island
Yeah.
reggae. But it was less people this year than last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you like reggae and you want to go to Cali Roots, make sure to buy tickets in advance because they do get pretty pricey. And also hotels.
Yes, book your Airbnb.
Motel 6
now.
in the Roadway Inn gets up to $400 a night.
Right.
That's their
Rather sleep
biggest.
in my car. Sorry, Motel 6.
No, totally. I don't have to sweep cockroaches under for $300 a night.
3-year-old condoms.
Oh.
Sorry, Bay Area.
So yeah, you'll have 8, 9, 10 people crashing in a room, to split it up. If anyone's literally interested in going to Cali Roots, you book an Airbnb.
Yeah, do it. It's
There's
fun.
plenty out there, and they're super cheap. Yeah, and of course it's Monterey too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
beautiful.
5-minute, 10-minute drive, and you're in downtown, and it was a great festival. It was too bad you couldn't go.
It was too bad. My son and my wife went.
Yeah, they did.
I know they had a good time.
They go do everything.
Let's get back to the actual gym itself. Now you guys are located in Hercules over in the business park
Mhm.
Correct.
on Alfred Noble Drive.
Yes. 678 Alfred Nobel.
Perfect. And then website is
We're
I know
almost there.
you guys are putting the website together.
Yes.
So when do you expect it to go live?
2 weeks.
On the outside, we just sent the final yay for the I don't know what you call it, like the mock-up with the
Okay.
all the colors. Like it's ready to go
Okay.
finally.
Okay. Perfect. So, well, this episode's not going to air for probably another week.
Then it might be up by then.
Okay.
could
Perfect.
be.
And what's the website link going
It
to
would be www.thebarathleticsgym.com.
You guys have quite a bit of equipment there too, and I know you have like a giant rig with pull-up bars. What kind of equipment? Now you also have open gym too, right?
Mhm.
So it's not just programs that people can go to.
Correct.
They can sign up for open gym, go there, and use the equipment there.
Yes.
So you guys have kettlebells, you have jump ropes, and
Medicine balls,
Dumbbells.
squat racks, 100,000 barbells and plates.
Free weight. Yeah, free weights. Basically.
Almost anything you could want. What we don't have are machines. We don't have like a ab machine and this machine and that machine.
Lat
We
pull
don't
down
have
machine.
and most people don't
cables.
know how to use those anyway.
Correct.
Yeah.
I would love to install like a little tiny bodybuilding corner, but that's just because that's what I like.
Yeah.
We have future plans.
We do. But
Are you ever going to do a show again?
Way to stick
Sorry.
a pin in that.
Yeah, sorry to put you on the spot.
So actually, possibly November 2018 SAC.
Okay. That's very interesting to see you go through that whole process.
I'm sure it's lovely for you.
Son of a bitch, give up that donut.
Well,
working out for
the
like
bulking
3
process
hours a
is
day.
great for me because I eat all your extra food.
We're having potatoes again. Woo!
We're having a burrito
And then the next day, we're having nothing but asparagus
and tilapia
and tilapia.
and broccoli.
Air and ice.
Right? Air is awesome.
Yum.
But yeah, it's not too bad. I actually love that process. I like, especially the closer and closer it gets to the show, just the daily tweaks and adjustments, seeing things you haven't seen the day before, and just the way your body changes is incredible.
Yeah,
like
it
that.
definitely is. And to clarify, female bodybuilding, there's 4 classes, right? There's 4.
3 now.
Okay, so there were 4 classes. So you had bikini, you had
Physique.
physique
Figure.
or figure.
Figure.
Then you had
Women's
physique and
physique.
women's bodybuilding.
Women's bodybuilding is pretty much phased out. I
Yeah.
don't even know if they're doing it at Olympia anymore.
Did they
there's-
announce it?
They've been talking about it for 2 or 3 years, and there just hasn't been enough.
It's in 2 months, right?
Yeah. So I'm curious to see what will happen. I know that a lot of the female bodybuilders were scaling down for women's physique. Women's physique is now, the women are bigger than they were when there was the bodybuilding class as well. So they're kind of blowing up a little bit. The bodybuilders are coming down to fit into that category. Figure competitors are now bigger than they used to be, and bikini competitors are bigger than they used to be. So I'm curious to see if they're going to add a class below. I'm not really sure what they're going to do, but I know everyone's getting bigger.
And bikini
try
is
to
the
fit in.
smallest class, followed by figure, physique,
Yeah.
and then bodybuilding.
Bikini, yes,
And then you compete in figure. And are you going to
I
compete
do.
in figure again?
I will. I looked at some of the women's physique competitors over the last 12 months, and there's no way that I would ever be able to put on that size. In
You know
a
who's
year.
doing? You know who's doing phenomenal is Courtney Green.
Amazing.
Oh, do you know Courtney?
I do.
She
I know
is-
who that is. That's
Yeah.
So she's got
And she's such a nice person
the
too.
biggest heart ever. I've known her for a few years, and when I started competing is when I met her, and I've gotten to. I actually shared stage with her, and I'm like, oh, I feel like a fangirl. I'm like, oh my god, I was on stage with her.
Geek it
Oh my.
She's
But
got a pro card now.
she did. She turned pro, and she is incredible. Her body is phenomenal, and she's gonna go places. She's young enough and has the drive. She's gonna go places for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And then she's out of Sacramento, right? She's still
Yeah.
in Sacramento.
Hmm.
And she's sponsored by, is it, who's the brand that she works with that sponsors her?
I don't know if she's sponsored by them anymore. I haven't seen a lot of sponsor like posts.
Okay.
BSN?
PSN.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, she just looks great.
Yeah.
I mean,
She's out. Her team is Iron Addiction. Trish Wood, anyway. Trish and Mike Wood are her.
yeah. So the whole competition thing is very interesting because it's amazing how it's not just about losing body fat, but you have to maintain, if not continue building muscle while dropping body fat, which is technically,
It's an oxymoron.
yeah, yeah.
Basically.
It technically isn't supposed to happen, but it obviously can. And so you maintain and build muscle while you drop body fat. But then it goes a step further because there's also the water retention and water levels in your body. And you're literally pulling water out of your body right before the show. So you get on stage under the lights and your skin just goes paper thin.
Yeah.
And the judges judge you not just on your size, but they judge you on your vascularity and how lean you come in. Symmetry too.
Presentation, all of it.
Yeah.
And it's harder. One of the things I'm struggling with right now is, am I going to compete in NPC, which I've done all the time since 2012.
Now NPC is
That's the big one, National Physique Committee or something.
And they're the big organization, but then if you get your pro card through them, you go to the IFBB.
Yeah.
And then that's where you can then go compete for Mr. Olympia or the big national shows.
So I've been told that I probably won't go far at a natural state. So here's my dilemma. Do I keep competing naturally in NPC, or do I move into, because I'm competing with girls who are not all like,
there's drug use.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's
We can say that.
There is drug use.
It's my podcast. We can say it's drug use and steroids.
So, right? So do I continue to do that and compete against women who are having a leg up against me, or do I go into a natural division? I've got some clients that are interested in competing, and so trying to steer them and steer myself. It's a dilemma. The NPC is where it is.
Well, there's other shows that are
right?
100% natural, and they test you on that too.
Oh yeah, it's no joke. Like there's testing. You register and you can't compete for, I believe, 12 to 18 months because they start testing immediately.
And there's one that you can't even drink coffee, like no caffeine.
That's
like,
not going to be the one for me.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but there is one, and I forget the name of it. But they do test for even caffeine.
Wow.
And that's 100%. Like they're so strict on natural.
Yeah,
That's
no.
insane.
Yeah.
I know a guy that recently turned pro in the I'm going to butcher it.
There's so many of them. Yeah.
It's one of the larger organizations for natural competitors, and he just turned pro. So I figured I'll chew his ear for a little bit, see what he thinks about it.
Yeah, they're just not as popular, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
You know, everyone really goes for the NPC and the IFBB because they're the
people want to see the
biggest.
big freaks. They want to see the big
Well,
guys
yeah.
up on stage.
Yeah,
They
in
do.
fact, that's actually how bodybuilding all started. It was a circus freak show.
Yep.
You know, you had the guy come in and lift big, heavy weights, and then they were super muscular and everything, but they were a freak.
Yeah.
And they were part of circuses.
Yep.
Until people started to figure out that, hey, well, first you had people wanting to get into fitness and then get healthier, and then people start lifting weights and get stronger, and then all of a sudden it is what it is today.
One of the things that I've been watching at our gym and just kind of in the back of my head, like stirring it around a little bit, is we have an Olympic lifting team that consists of two of our head coaches, Jenna Kuna and Rita Benavides.
Oh, and they're going out to Miami, right?
They're going out to Miami, and they're doing Olympic lifting at nationals. And there's
What date is that?
it's this weekend. They leave tomorrow morning.
Okay,
at
so
6 a.m.
Okay, so I will say this: one of my very good friends is a judge that will be judging them.
I know,
but I can't say anything
I
now.
can't tell her
Yeah.
who.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that. She'll be excited when she sees him.
It will be live streaming.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure. But
Now, what's
Like-
that competition about? What do they do there? I know Olympic lifting, but what are lifts?
3 lifts, ollie lifts. You've got clean and jerk, snatch, and
Is it a deadlift?
No,
no.
that's like strongman stuff, which would also be fun. But
Strongman stuff would be awesome.
right, so it would be nice to compete in something that you're not judged on how you look, because we're judged on that every day and everything that we do anyway.
And that's one of the problems with those bodybuilding shows is that they literally judge you on how you look.
Yeah.
And it hurts. Well, you have a lot of people that get into it because of an ego. Like, if they claim that they're a bodybuilder, they feel much better about themselves.
Yeah.
But then when they don't win a show and a judge tells them, hey, you look like crap on stage, it doesn't mean that you look like crap in general. Just, hey, you weren't the best.
Right.
And then that hurts egos too. And
Oh yeah.
It's only 2 lifts, snatch and clean and jerk.
Okay.
okay.
So it would be fun to possibly maybe someday maybe compete in something that is numbers. I mean, it's science. You can't argue with it.
Let's do it. I just told her this morning. I said, come on, get in the
Right?
single.
We were
let's do it."
watching the Pan Ams this
Okay.
morning at the gym, like in between classes, getting juiced for our team.
Let's do it.
So, but it's fun to be involved in something that I don't really know a lot about and to learn about it, and to watch these guys work so hard every single day for hours and hours, minute adjustments on a hip rotation or anything like that. It's really fun to watch, and they're super eager.
So that's in Miami this weekend.
Yes.
Okay. And then that's being live streamed.
Yes.
Do you know the website where it's being live streamed?
Yes, I do actually. One moment. Even though this won't be broadcast till next week.
Oh, right.
It's
Yeah, but you can always go back and watch the
Yeah, they can.
the recorded show.
it is www.teamusa.org/USA TAC weightlifting /live.
Okay, you know what? Just send me the link. I'll look it up.
If you want the shorter version, it's basically Team USA Live 2017 Pan American Championships.
Okay, perfect. Well, good luck to them, and
Yep.
hopefully they do well. And I'm sure there's a lot of competition going there.
Oh, it's gonna be crazy. Yeah, but they're gonna go and give it 100%, and that's
Is it as big as those CrossFit games that they have on ESPN?
no.
So those are bigger.
CrossFit has so much hype and so much following. Olympic lifting, in a common general public speaking, doesn't have a big following. Nobody really knows about it. It's kind of like, oh, those are just what those weird people do, just throwing barbells over their head. CrossFit has done a really good job getting their name out there and getting communities involved. People don't even do CrossFit watch the CrossFit Games, so it's very different that way. But we're still excited for our team.
In fact, I think my shirt says CrossFit. Yeah.
Yes, it
Sure
does.
does.
Oh, you know, you're a CrossFitter.
That's been an interesting revolution too. I watched a documentary last night, as a matter of fact, on the CrossFit Games, and Greg Glassman, who started CrossFit, was talking about how now versus 2000, it was 2005 or 2009 when they first started, and they did it in a dirt field in San Jose.
Whoa.
Yeah, now that it's so big, the athletes who go to the CrossFit Games aren't even like your everyday CrossFitters. These people, they literally, that's what they do. They wake up, they work out all day. Sometimes they eat, they go to sleep.
They train
wake
for
up.
these games.
That's, all they do. So
They're
it's,
like Olympians.
yeah. So he said there's actually some talk about them coming up with something that's for the CrossFitters again, because the CrossFit Games aren't really for your everyday CrossFitters anymore.
Not
Interesting. They should come up with something like that for like the elite CrossFitters.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like the Super Bowl, like the IFBB has Mr. Olympia.
Right.
Yeah.
But then have like stuff for normal people, like stuff for
Right.
people from our gym could go excel. 'Cause we have some really amazing
We
athletes.
do have some incredible athletes.
But
and to
these
look
are
at
all
them-
people that have jobs and families and
Right.
can't work out and train 24 hours a day.
Right.
Yeah.
Like rich, whatever.
They make time for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Rich Froning.
Yeah.
Rich
Oh my
Froning.
God.
Love him.
Who's that?
He's a CrossFit
He's
guy. He's like the best CrossFitter on the
He's won the CrossFit Games more than any other CrossFit athlete. He's gorgeous. And that's coming from a lesbian.
I
so
was
that's
like, what?
No, my wife knows.
Oh,
I
okay.
love me some Rich Froning.
I I've never seen this happen before.
Lots of other stuff, but never this.
Right.
Okay, so we will end it with that.
All right.
All right.
Yeah,
Sounds
thanks for
good.
coming on to the
Thanks
show.
for having us.
Yeah,
This was
really
fun.
appreciate it. Hopefully it wasn't too stressful. It was pretty chill, relaxed, and
Wine helps everything. I am too much.
well, it's a little hot in here. Like, I'm sweating too. Yeah.
It's you, Mark. We're like,
It's so hot. Thanks for
I'll cut
having
that
us.
out.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay,
kind
so thanks
sir.
for coming on the show. If people want to get in contact with either one of you for any of the programs, what's the best phone number to call? And just quickly state the website again.
Okay, so my phone number is 510-459-0452. This is Kim. Our website will be www.thebarathleticsgym.com. And
This is Michelle. You can reach me at 510-224-0331.
Perfect. Thank you. Hey guys, again, thank you for listening to this podcast. Big shout out to Sam Lubin, my producer here that helps me out in putting together these podcasts and getting them distributed on all the channels. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Make sure to follow the podcast on Podbean, iTunes, SoundCloud, and anywhere else you listen to podcasts. We're literally out there on every possible channel you can think of. Definitely big shout out to the Bar Athletics. Thank you to Kim Staggs, Michelle Keeton for coming out and putting together this great podcast with some great information, some very entertaining moments. Really, like, any feedback that you, the listeners, can provide back to me would be greatly appreciated. In fact, I want to start something here at the end of every podcast and maybe do something like a question of the day. So my question of the day to everyone to start this off is, how often do you listen to podcasts? I look forward to your answers. You can email me answers to markguzman9@gmail.com, but easiest way is just leave it in the comments. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Podbean, iTunes, just leave it in the comment. Answer the question of the day. Again, let me know how often you listen to podcasts. And thank you for listening. I really want to thank all of you for listening. It means the world to me, and I hope today's episode provides you value in your day-to-day life. I created this podcast to help showcase the many great people that live in this world and help share some knowledge that I've learned along the way in life. Again, thank you for listening. Check out our sponsors, and I'll catch you on the next episode.